Hey guys, how's it going? Chez back again and welcome to episode number 6 of the Chelsea career mode here on FIFA 15. Unfortunately though, we start with some bad news. I recorded what was going to be today's and tomorrow's episodes, and when I went back to edit both the footage from each episode, the one for what was originally going to be today's was actually corrupted. So unfortunately, no matter what I did, handbraking it, changing the format, nothing worked. So I couldn't get the file into my Sony Vegas. So unfortunately I cannot show you the 1-0 draw with Ajax, the 1-0 defeat away at Manchester City, or subsequently the 3-1 win over Burnley in the Capital One Cup. But fortunately, I recorded them in separate files, so I can show you Aston Villa, Besiktas and Swansea. So at least there's some, silver lining on the cloud. But we start at home against Aston Villa then, after losing our first game of the season against Man City away in the unseeable episode. And as you can see, a win here will put us back into the top 4. But first, team news.
Here's the Chelsea lineup. Thibaut Courtois starts in goal. John Terry plays with Gary Cahill in central defence. Fabregas plays with Nemanja Matic in central midfield. Loic Remy is the main striker today.
There's the lineup then for us. Hopefully we were going to get a good result out of this one. Unfortunately, the commentary in-game actually glitched out again in that one. Another unfortunate event. I couldn't show the Aston Villa lineup, but JT's attempt at a tackle there was apparently just to run past Charles Nzobia, which meant he had the space to turn inside again and put the ball into the back of the net. So 18 minutes in, unfortunately, we find ourselves going 1-0 down, but trying to get ourselves back in the game just a few minutes later. Eden Hazard pushes around the outside of the defence. Good header from Loic Remy, but a top save from Brad Guzan means that unfortunately the Frenchman is denied, and Hazard just doesn't quite have the strength to hold off the attentions of Fabian Delph. We actually have to push into the second half before we were able to make another decent effort on goal. Remy showing great feet, but another world-class save from Brad Guzan, the American goalkeeper, really showing that he definitely is the American national side's port of call for replacement for Tim Howard during his sabbatical period. And then Carlos Sanchez clears the ball off the line. We still can't get ourselves an equaliser. I try and power past someone with Matic, which isn't really his sort of style of game, but Felipe Luis plays in Shirley. He does have the feet and the turn of pace to get away from the defenders, power in a decent finish through the goalkeeper into the back of the net, and we make it 1-1 just after the hour mark. Then trying to make it 2-1, get ourselves back in front, which of course is exactly what we want to do. Eden Hazard cuts inside, and another nonchalant Berbatov style finish. We saw that in yesterday's episode, where he's just a little bit lazy with taking the shot. You want him to accurately place it with his left foot, which is what he's set up to do, and he just hits with the outside of his foot nonchalantly. In the end, it hits the post on this occasion. Then they counter-attack us straight up the other end. JT can't cope with the pace of Carrillo, and they put themselves 2-1 up after we had the chance to go in front ourselves. So I was not only annoyed at Eden Hazard, but then doubly annoyed at the fact that I actually ended up going behind again. But Andre Schürrle's pushing forward here, trying to get us back in. It finds Hazard, and this time he decides to do exactly what I wanted him to. Brings the ball under control quite nicely, and with his left foot, a normal, authentic, ordinary run-of-the-mill side-footed finish underneath the goalkeeper, exactly what you want from him, and he scores the goal this time rather than kicking it wide or straight at the woodwork. So unfortunately we get a 2-2 draw, but fortunately we don't lose for the second Barclays Premier League game in a row, which is definitely the thing that we wanted to avoid. So it's back to the Champions League after you can see the amount of shots we had. Again, team news for Besiktas.
Chelsea make one change. Ep6 starts in goal. Aymeric Laporte plays with Gary Cahill in central defence. Willian plays with Eden Hazard on the flanks. Didier Drogba is the main striker today.
Thought I'd start Drogba against Turkish opposition. Of course, he's come from the Turkish league at Galatasaray to come back to Chelsea, so I thought he might know the opposition a little bit better. And Willian, in fact, is a man that creates the opening opportunity by getting himself completely wiped out in the box. And just before the half-hour mark, we're able to pick up a penalty. You'll see from the replay, Willian literally flies through the air. They've added in these kind of dramatic falls into the physics engine this year. Some of them look quite realistic. Some of them, like in that case, are a little bit over the top. But regardless, Didier Drogba has the chance from the spot to put us in front, and he obliges very nicely indeed. Kind of him to smash the ball into the top corner, and that gives us a 1-0 lead on the half-hour. And of course, we drew the previous game, which unfortunately is in the footage that I can't show you, of the Ajax at home at Stamford Bridge. In fact, we drew 1-1 against the Dutch side, and Besiktas trying to get themselves back in this one. Draw the ball in. I try and pull the keeper out there with just pressing and holding the Y button on the controller, and in fact the goalkeeper didn't came. Oscar tried to play a through ball to the man that was stood directly next to him, who's played the ball straight to their striker, who obliged in again by putting the ball into the roof of the net, and unfortunately we found ourselves being pegged back at 1-1. But just before half time, Eden Hazard, great feat, and again just an orthodox bog standard normal finish, and it goes into the back of the net rather than these fancy flicks and touches he keeps trying to take to score the beautiful goal. I don't care how it goes into the back of the net. I just want it over the line, and hopefully these past couple of finishes from Eden Hazard mean that he has finally started to knuckle down and properly, just make sure that he scores the chance, because it's been costly, as you saw in the Aston Villa game. It really has cost us the chance of either going ahead, creating a lead, or even maintaining a lead. And this time we are able to create a lead, and in fact, on the counter-attack ourselves, we're actually able to extend that lead through Didier Drogba just 10 minutes after half-time. Races away, not really got the pace he used to. He's 67 pace on his Ultimate Team card, but he's got enough to get away. Little hop, skip and a jump in his celebration. We go 3-1 in front, but just a couple of minutes later, Oysal plays in Toure down the left-hand side, or Tor, not really too sure how to pronounce that Turkish name. Skips past one challenge and plays in Oysal again, I think it was. The save for Petr Cech falls straight to Demba Ba, and he scores his first goal of the game against us. Unfortunately, scoring against his former club to put them back in the game at 3-2. And then as we head right towards the end of the game, there's going to be another penalty call. A controversial one perhaps, because there's no challenge that goes in there. Sosa just kicks Cesc Fabregas in the knee and falls over. You'll see from the replay, I didn't actually ask Cesc to make a challenge there. I was just moving towards the man, trying to perhaps give him a little bit of a tug on the shirt, or even just muscle against him so that it knocked him slightly off balance, so that his shot wasn't quite as good as he perhaps wanted it to be. And in fact, he just got completely wiped out. So unfortunately, Demba Ba had the chance to make it 3-3 in stoppage time. I tried to put him off with pressing the buttons, the A, B, Y, and X buttons on the controller to make the goalkeeper do either Bruce Grobbelaar legs, or you saw him there pointing towards one corner. I dived that way, and unfortunately, the Demba Ba with the little stuttered runner completely sold me whilst I was trying to sell him, and put the ball in the opposite corner, and Besiktas come back to get themselves a draw after being 3-1 behind. So extremely disappointed with that as well. It turns out I really can score goals, but I really can't keep a clean sheet. And we're going to come up against Swansea at home here. As you can see, they're bottom of the table with 1 point from 5. Again, we can go back into the top 4 with a win, but
here's the Chelsea lineup. Thibaut Courtois starts in goal. John Terry plays with Kurt Zouma in central defence. Mohamed Salah plays with Andres Schürrle out wide. Loic Remy is the main striker today. Swansea City make 3 alterations to that last lineup. Lucas Fabianski plays in goal. Ashley Williams plays with Jordi Amat in central defence. Nathan Dyer starts, looking to recover his form. Wilfried Bony is the main striker today.
I'm having to play a bit of a rotation side, as you saw in this game against Swansea, because this one came just 2 days after the game against Besiktas, and then another 48 hours after this, we have a game against Arsenal. So we're really up against it when it comes to fixture congestion already in this season, and I've got a horrible feeling as we move further into the year in the domestic cup competitions and in Europe as well, should we get out of the group stage, we're really going to have a problem with fixture congestion again for like the 5th FIFA in a row. Games still seem to be put in so awful, unrealistic positions where you play games perhaps back-to-back days, or a game every 2 days for the space of 10 days, play 5 games in 10 days in all competitions, which is just completely unrealistic for the sort of period that happens. Yet over Christmas, it's not that bad, or it's a normal Christmas period, but then you get out and you normally have a bit of a break, but in fact we have loads of fixtures, or at least that's what's happened in previous years. We're hoping that won't happen this year, but I've got a horrible feeling that it is. But we were able to get ourselves a 2-0 lead there, as you saw. Courtois with a good save, and the rebound falls straight to Nathan Dyer. We were fortunate with our opening goal through Loic Remy through a couple of rebounds, so I can't really begrudge them that goal. They're back at 2-1. Nathan Dyer with a good shot off the post, but again trying to make the lead back up to 2 goals if we possibly can. Into the second half on the hour mark, Loic Remy twisting and turning left, right and centre, does get the shot in. Good save by Flappy Hansky, and unfortunately for them, Mohamed Salah is on hand to pounce for a second rebound for us, a third rebound goal for the game, and that made it 3-1. Now the question was, could we hold on to this 3-1 lead? As you can see, Ki Sung-young is breaking into the box, finds the ball back at his feet through a fortunate circumstance of events. Kurt Zouma goes in, wipes him out. I thought I was going to get the ball, but Ki turned just as I was about to get there. And unfortunately, Key goes down. Swansea win a penalty. Fortunately, Zouma stays on the pitch. Could have picked up a red there, although I think it would have been a little bit harsh to pick up a red. Although, if you see the replay, watch Kurt Zouma's left foot on the heel there. That is a really nasty challenge. No wonder Key went flying. Zouma caught him right down the calf. Fortunately for Swansea, Wilfred Boney picked himself up, despite my heroics or antiques in the goalmouth, pulling all sorts of different shapes with Thibaut Courtois. Wilfred Boney just smashed it straight down the middle, and they brought it back to 3-2. And then in the 80th minute, as you can see, they were throwing a lot of bodies forward, trying to get themselves back into the game. That was meant to go back to the man in the middle. Unfortunately, it squared to Charlotte. They played a couple of through balls, and Wayne Routledge makes it 3-3. I cannot defend at the minute on world class on FIFA 15. I can score goals, as you've seen. We've scored plenty of goals in this episode and plenty of goals in previous games. I just can't seem to keep a clean sheet, and it's something that is affecting me at the minute. And we're going to try and get a fourth goal here if we possibly can as we head towards the end of the game to make sure we get a win. Look, Remy again doing the good work with his feet to get the ball away from the defenders. Finds Ramirez in space. Great first touch. Fires it across the goal, underneath the goalkeeper, into the back of the net. And we make it 4-3. And I would have been more animated about the fact that we've got a real last-gasp winner in a 4-3 game. But I'm so frustrated at myself, especially having to watch my poor defending back again, that I just can't find myself to get too excited. Fortunately, we get a win. We get all 3 points. I can wipe the sweat off my brow. We haven't fucked up again. Yet. I've got a horrible feeling in the next few games that we may let more leads slip, Steven Gerrard style. But fingers crossed, I can firm up defensively. I'm as bad on Ultimate Team as I am on Career Mode right now. Fortunately, though, we're still getting at least some results. We sit third in the table despite a poor start, which I guess is a good sign that eventually when I do get better at defending and we are able to pick up more consistent results, we'll be higher up the table still. So if we can at least stay in contention whilst I'm still learning to play on this new engine on World Class, then fingers crossed we can still have a good season. Of course, I've never claimed to be the best at FIFA all told. I'm average at Ultimate Team, I'm average at Career Mode, but fingers crossed we can still do what we need to at least ensure our jobs stay at Chelsea. But anyway, that's going to bring this episode to a close, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Apologies for the horrendous defending and unfortunate events with the previous file or the episode that was supposed to be today. So you're seeing tomorrow's episode today, which means I now need to go out and record tomorrow's again, but obviously it's new games. But anyway, I'm rambling as I normally tend to do. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram and Facebook. You can see the different things on screen, the usernames. Links will be in the description. Subscribe if you haven't already. That'd be absolutely superb. Of course, drop a video a like if you enjoyed, and I will see you next time.